She walked through nights to whisper secrets. No one ever asked her name. Carried every burden quietly, like it was part of her strength. She painted smiles over shadows, kept her heart tucked away. They called her brave for standing tall, never saw her wanna stay. There's a tremor under her courage, a song she's never sung. She's not afraid of falling down, she's afraid to feel undone. She's brave enough to break, to let the tears come slow. She doesn't lose her power by letting the pain show. She can bend without breaking, she can shiver and still stand. A woman is still whole when she gives herself a hand. And she mistook silence for healing, patience for being strong. Turned every wound into armor, even when it felt so wrong. She loved like it was a promise that never came back home. But her heart is learning gently that it's allowed to be alone. Now she's listening to the quiet, learning how to stay. Not every ache is failure, sometimes it lights the way. She's brave enough to break, to let the tears come slow. She doesn't lose her power by letting the pain show. She bend without breaking, she can shiver and still stand. A woman is still whole when she gives herself a hand. To every woman holding herself together when the night feels too long, you don't need to earn your healing. Your heart has always been strong. Crying is not surrender, it's your voice saying I'm here. Healing begins in the moment you stop hiding your fear. Break, I don't have to be endless, I don't have to stay strong. I'm allowed to feel every corner, I'm allowed to belong. She's brave enough to break, she's brave enough to break. Till the tears come slow, she loses her power, letting the pain show. She bend without a break, can shiver and still stand. She'll stay, a woman is still whole. She'll stay, gives herself her hand. She's not weakened by the falling. She's alive, she's awake. A strong woman finds her freedom when she learns it's okay to break first. She walked through nights that whisper secrets. No one ever asked her name. Carried every burden quietly, like it was part of her strength. She painted smiles over shadows, kept her heart tucked away. They called her brave for standing tall, never saw her wanna stay. There's a tremor under her courage, a song she's never sung. She's not afraid of falling down, she's afraid to feel undone. She's brave enough to break, to let the tears come slow. She's bruised to the heart, letting the pain show. She bend without breaking, sure is still stand. A woman is still whole, she gives herself a hand. She mistook silence for healing, patience for being strong. Into armor, even when it felt so wrong. She loved like it was a promise that never came back home. But her heart is learning listen to the quiet, learning how to stay. Why did the aches fail you? Sometimes it lies and falls. She's brave enough to break, to let the tears come slow. She doesn't lose her cool, she falls when she's slow. She brings the breath you take, she shivers to stand. A woman is still whole when she gives herself a hand. She's not weakened by the falling. She's alive, she's awake. A strong woman finds her freedom. She learns it's okay to break. She grew up learning how to stay quiet when love felt sharp as glass, turning bruises into secrets so nobody had a rest. She mastered holding it together even when it cost her breath. They called her strong for never falling, but never saw her fighting herself. There's a way behind her smile that no one ever names. She's been brave for too long now, and bravery still feels like pain. Oh, so let the armor slip tonight. Let the tears rewrite the truth. You don't lose your light just because you're breaking through. You don't have to be iron just to prove you're enough. A woman can be powerful and still be soft. She loved like it was a promise that she had to keep alone. Mistook being needed for finally being home. She gave grace where there was damage, stayed when she should have run, calling wounds growing pain just to say she didn't give up. Now her heart is learning slowly how to speak without defense, how to feel without apologizing for every crack and bend. So let the armor loose tonight. Let the tears rewrite the truth. You don't lose your light just because you're breaking through. You don't have to be higher just to prove you're enough. A woman can be powerful and still be soft. To every soul who's listening, with their hands still trembling, you don't know the world, your silence. You don't know pain, your loyalty. Crying doesn't make you smaller, it makes room for who you are. Healing starts the moment you stop hiding every scar. I'm not made to be, I'm feeling. I'm not wrong for needing rest. I don't have to earn my value by surviving at my best. Let the armor, let your heart fall into view. You can be strong and still need love. Both things can be true. You don't have to stay guarded just to keep your crown. A woman finds her power when she finally lays it down. She's not weak for feeling deeply. She's alive, she's learning how. A strong woman is still human, and she's allowed to cry right now. She woke up tired of being brave. stitching wounds she never made. Every mirror knew her name, but never saw the weight she carried. She learned to survive, not to feel, building walls instead of healing. Now she breathes again, slow and real. Lets the night teach her how to feel. She doesn't know the world, her pain. A woman can be strong and still need rain. Her heart learned languages of hurt, apologies wrapped in dirt. She gave her love until it bled. Still they asked for more instead. But even oceans need to rest. Even stars fall from their best. So she breathes again, soft and deep. Finds a soul in places asleep. She doesn't have to prove her flame. A woman can be strong and still feel pain. Oh yeah, let the tears run down her face. They're not weakness, they're grace. Every crack lets daylight in. That's where her rebirth begins. She breathes again, no shame, no fear. Holds her heart, keeps it near. She's not broken, she's becoming whole. A tender body with a fearless soul. Tonight she chooses to release, and slowly she breathes again. She breathes again. She learned how to stay composed in rooms that never felt safe, turning trembling into posture so no one saw her shake. She memorized the art of coping, made strength her only name. But every night a shadow whispered, you don't have to stay the same. All the courage she's been wearing is getting heavy on her skin. She's not scared of falling apart, she's scared of never letting in. She's still allowed to feel, still allowed to cry. Even the strongest hearts get tired of asking why. She doesn't lose her fire when she lets it bend. A woman can be powerful and still need gentleness. She confused being chosen with being slowly erased, calling loneliness patience, calling distance fake. She gave love without a limit, hoping one day it'd return. But her hands are learning now, you can't heal what keeps you burned. There's a language in her tears, she's learning how to hear. Not every ache is weakness, some are truth made clear. She's still allowed to feel, still allowed to cry. Even the strongest hearts get tired of asking why. She doesn't lose her fire when she lets it bend. A woman can be powerful and still need gentleness. To every woman holding herself together with silence and grace, you don't know the world you're suffering, you don't have to earn your place. Let the sadness sit beside you, it doesn't mean you failed. Healing starts the moment you stop pretending you're okay. I don't need to be fearless to be worthy of love. I don't need to stay standing when I've already had enough. She's still allowed to feel, still allowed to feel. She's still allowed to feel. She's not undone by emotion. She's becoming who she is. Strength doesn't disappear in softness. It finally learns how to live reverse. She learned how to stay composed in rooms that never felt safe, turning trembling in a posture so no one saw her shake. She memorized the art of coping, made strength her only name. But every night a shadow whisper, you don't have to stay the same. All the courage she's been wearing, it's getting heavy on her skin. She's not scared of falling apart, she's scared of never letting in. She's still allowed to feel, still allowed to cry. Even the strongest hearts get tired of asking why. She doesn't lose her fire when she lets it bend. A woman can be powerful and still need gentleness. To every woman holding herself together with silence and grace, you don't know the world you're suffering, you don't have to earn your place. Let the sadness sit beside you, it doesn't mean you failed. Healing starts the moment you stop pretending you're okay. She's not undone by emotion. She's becoming who she is. Strength doesn't disappear in softness. It finally learns how to live first. She's She learned how to stay composed in rooms that never felt safe, turning trembling in a posture so no one saw her shake. She memorized the art of coping, made strength her only name. But every night a shadow whisper, you don't have to stay the same. She walks in shadows of her memories, holding pieces no one sees. Every night she counted promises that never stayed, that never eased. She learned to hide her trembling heart, to never let it show. They called her brave, they called her strong, but they never saw her low. Beneath the weight of all the silence, there's a light that wants to rise. It's okay to let it flicker, it's okay to close your eyes. Even broken stars can shine, even hearts can fall in time. She can cry, she can be soft and still hold a fire. Every tear is not a failing, every sigh her love locked in a cage. Hoped if she stayed composed enough, she could outrun the rain. But now she feels the gentle calling to let herself be seen, to let the rivers wash the hurting and reclaim what might have been. Every bruise can be a teacher, every shadow lights the way, yeah. She's allowed to find her softness without fear of the day. Even broken stars can shine, even hearts can fall in time. She can cry, she can be soft and still hold her fire. I can fall without regret. I can feel and I can linger and still rise without forgetting yet. Even broken stars can shine, even hearts can fall in time. She can cry, she can be soft and still hold her fire. Love, every tear is not a failing, every sigh a song of grace. A woman keeps her power, even in a quiet space. She's alive in the falling, she's awake and letting go. A strong woman finds her freedom when she allows herself to show. She learned to breathe in broken rhythm, in houses full of quiet pain. Smiles were shields, not invitations. Love always felt like something to earn. She kept her tears in perfect order, folded neatly out of sight. They called her strong for never shaken, never asked how she survived. There's a heartbeat under the armor, tired of holding the line. She's been standing for so long, she forgot how to lie down. She's not made of stone, she's not meant to hold it all alone. If her hands are shaking, it doesn't mean she's lost control. She can cry, she can bend, she can break and still mend. A woman doesn't lose her power when she's soft again. She stayed with love, felt conditional, called it loyalty, called it fate. Learned to shrink her own reflection just to keep someone from walking away. She carried hope like a heavy promise, spoke forgiveness like a prayer. But her body kept the echoes of every time she was wasn't cared. Now she's listening to the silence instead of filling all the space. Learning pain is not a failure, it's just truth without a face. She's not made of stone, she's not meant to hold it all alone. If her hands are shaking, it doesn't mean she's lost control. She can cry, she can bend, she can break and still mend. A woman doesn't lose her power when she's soft again. To the woman staring at the ceiling, wondering when it got this hard. You don't have to keep surviving just to prove how brave you are. Tears are not a step backward, they're a language of release. Sometimes strength is choosing to finally feel your needs. I don't need to be endless, I don't need to be strong all the time. I'm allowed to be human, I'm allowed to be mine. She's not made of stone, she's learning how to come back home. Let the tears fall slowly, they don't take away her crown. She's still holding the ache, still enough in the doubt. A strong woman finds her power when she lets it out. She's not weak for the crying, she's alive, she's awake. A woman doesn't lose her strength when her heart finally breaks open. Open. She carries mornings in her hands, the weight of all the yesterdays. Hides a heart beneath her laughter, walks through life in quiet ways. She learned to speak in whispers when the world demanded shouts. Called it courage, called it honor, but her soul had silent doubts. There's a fire under her quiet, a song she's never sung. It's okay to let it flicker, it's okay to feel undone. She can fall, she can weep, she can rest in her defeat. Being strong doesn't mean she's unbroken, it's in the courage to release every tear she lets flow. Is a life she'll come to know. A woman keeps her power even when she's moving slow. She loved like it was endless, even when it wasn't returned. Kept her dreams beneath her pillow and her legs in shadows, with a heart that longs to heal. You don't need to be unshakable. Your softness is your seal. Crying is not surrender, it's the language of the soul. Healing begins when you embrace all the pieces that make you whole. I can tremble, I can falter, I can bend without regret. I can feel and I can linger and still rise without forgetting. Yeah, she can fall. Being strong doesn't mean she's unbroken. It's in the courage to release every tear she lets flow. She's awake and letting go. A strong woman finds her freedom when she lets her heart show. She learned to wait before the daylight, so no one saw her face. Practice holding back the thunder in the quiet of that space. She made a home out of surviving, called it being brave. But every night her heart was asking how much more it had to take. There's a silence in her body where the hurt has been living. She's been giving all her strength away and forgetting how to listen. In the space between breaths, she finally feels it, all the weight she's been carrying alone. She doesn't have to be steady. Every second she's standing, she can fall and still be whole. Still be whole. She mistook control for safety, held her tears like crimes. Thought if she stayed perfectly composed, she could outrun time. But pain doesn't fade in hiding, it waits to be seen. And her heart is tired of whispering what it's been needed in a scream. Now she's learning how to stay when the feeling starts to rise. Not every tear is a weakness, some are truth in disguise. In the space between breaths, she finally feels it, all the love she never gave herself. She doesn't have to be steady. Every second she's standing, she can fall and she can still be whole. To every woman listening with a tired, tender soul, you don't owe your pain a purpose. You don't have to be in control. Let the sorrow sit beside you, let it speak, let it pass. You're not losing who you are by letting yourself collapse. I don't need to be fearless to be worthy of care. I don't need to keep it together to prove I'm still there. In the space between breaths, there's a doorway to healing where she stops pretending she's fine. She's not less for the shame. She's alive in the breaking. She's allowed to take her time. She's not undone by the crime. She's not small She wore the world like a heavy coat. Every step a careful note. Whisper words she never said. Kept her nights alone in bed. She smiled for everyone else. Hid the cracks within herself. Called it courage, called it grace, but it left no room for space. Now she hears the echoes of the love she gave too fast. It's okay to feel the quiet and let the shadows pass. She's allowed to cry tonight. Even the strong hearts break. She can let her walls fall down and breathe for her own sake. She can tremble, she can bend, she can fall and rise again. A woman keeps her power even when she sheds her pain. She learned to hold a fire, to keep it small, to keep it quiet. Hoped if she stayed composed, no one would see the hurt she knows. She stitched her soul from bravery, but the seams began to tear. Now she's learning tenderness is just as strong as care. Every tear she's been saving, every night she survived, can be the start of healing, a space where she's alive. She's allowed to cry tonight. Even the strong hearts break. She can let her walls fall down. Breathe for her own sake. She can tremble, she can bend, she can fall and rise again. A woman keeps her power even when she sheds her pain. To the woman still standing with her heart on the line, you don't need to prove your strength. Your softness is your sign. Tears are not surrender, they are the voice of truth. Healing starts when we release and honor all of you. I don't need to hold forever, I don't need to stay strong. I can let the waves come over me and still belong. She's allowed to cry tonight. Even the strong hearts break. She can let her walls fall down and breathe for her own sake. She can tremble, she can bend, she can fall and rise again. A woman keeps her power even when she sheds her pain. She's not less for the crying. She's alive, she's awake. A strong woman finds her freedom when she lets her heart ache. She's been holding all the quiet, all the nights she couldn't speak, hiding cracks behind her laughter, holding tears upon her cheek. Every time she reached for comfort, she pushed it gently away. Told herself that strength was silence and soft hearts can never stay. But under all the garden, there's a place she's yet to know, where it's safe to let it go, where her heart can finally show. She can open her hands, let the tears fall where they learned to stand through storms of judgment, wore her courage like a coat. But every smile she gave the world hid the fire she never wrote. Now she's finding gentle freedom in the softness she denied, learning that her heart's own whisper is as strong as any pride. Every sigh becomes a river, every fall becomes the ground. She's allowed to find her center without keeping walls around. She can open her hands, let the tears fall where they land. She can bend without breaking, she can rest without forsaking. Strength is not just in holding, it's in letting herself be seen. A woman keeps her power even when she lets it lean. To every woman who's been heavy with a world that asks too much, you don't need to hide your softness. You can hold your heart with trust. Tears are not a weakness, they're a language of the soul. Healing starts when you surrender, let the broken pieces hold. I can breathe, I can soften, I can fall with regret. I can feel without apology and still be strong and still be safe. She can bend without breaking. She can rest with a God's sake. She can rest and hold it and letting herself be seen. A woman keeps her power even when she lets it lean. She's alive in the falling, she's awake in letting go. A strong woman finds her freedom when she opens hands to show. She learned to smile with cracks in her teeth, hold her breath, never ask for relief. Mirror says be strong, don't fall apart. So she stitched up silence around her heart. High heels on a trembling ground, apologies she never wrote down. Every night she swallows the pain, calls it strength, calls it staying sane. But strength don't mean you never bleed, it don't mean you don't ever need a place to lay your armor down and let the truth hit the ground. She's allowed to cry in the dark, let the tears leave a mark. Being brave don't mean being stoned, she don't have to be whole alone. Soft is not broken, weak is not wrong. She's been holding on for so long. If her heart shakes, let it be. Even strong women need mercy. She carried names she didn't choose, promises been in the bruises. Love too hard, stay too late. Learn forgiveness before self-hate. Hands the gate, never ask back. Built a home from emotional cracks. They said you're fine, you always cope, but nobody saw her losing hope. There's a weight in pretending you're okay when your soul is begging you to stay. And listen to that quiet ache, that don't make you weak, it makes you brave. She's allowed to cry in the dark, let the tears leave a mark. Being brave don't mean being stoned, she don't have to be whole alone. Soft is not broken, weak is not wrong. She's been holding on for so long. If her heart shakes, let it be. Even strong women need mercy. If you're listening through swollen eyes, thinking love always feels like a fight, let me say what you never heard. You don't know the world you hurt. Lay your crown down for the night. You don't lose power when you hide in the quiet. Healing starts when you stop punishing your heart. Break, break. carrying the weight of silence, hiding tears behind her gaze, walking through the world like it's a storm, trying to find a sun through haze. She learned to smile for everyone, even when her heart was sore. Called it strength, called it bravery, but she's tired of keeping score. There's a softness under all the armor, a truth she's yet to show. It's okay to feel the breaking, it's okay to let go. When she lets go, the sky opens and the rain can touch her face. She doesn't lose her power by stepping out of the rain. She can bend, she can tremble, she can fall and rise again. A woman's strongest moments are when she's allowed to feel pain. She used to hide behind her courage, pretending she was fine, but every silent night whispered, she doesn't have to confine. She gave love without a safety net, hoped it would come back to stay. Now she's learning tenderness is a strength in its own way. Every crack she's been avoiding, every fear she kept at bay, can be the dawn of healing and a brighter, softer day. When she lets go, the sky opens and the rain can touch her face. She doesn't lose her faith, she doesn't lose her power by stepping out of the rain. She can bend, she can tremble, she can fall and rise again. A woman's strongest moments are when she's allowed to feel pain. To every woman who feels alone with her heart on the line, you don't have to stay unshaken. Your tears are not a crime. Crying doesn't make you weaker, it's your soul learning to breathe. Healing starts when you surrender and let yourself believe. I don't need to hope forever, I don't need to stay strong. I can feel, I can falter, and I still belong. When she lets go, the sky opens and the rain can touch her face. She doesn't lose her power, she doesn't lose her power by stepping out of the rain. She can bend, she can tremble, she can fall and rise again. A woman's strongest moments are when she's allowed to pain. She's allowed to feel pain. She's not less for the crying. She's alive, she's awake. A strong woman finds her freedom when she finally lets go. She learned to read the silence before it turned to blame. Every room taught her survival before it ever taught her love. She held her breath in conversations, afraid of saying too much. Build her worth on being needed. got what she was made of. Every scar became a lesson, every tear a debt to pay. She was praised for being steady, but no one asked her to stay. She's gentle enough to stay with the parts she tried to hide. She don't have to run from the shaking, she don't have to win every fight. She can fall into the feeling, let the truth touch her skin. A woman can be strong and still let herself give in. She called distance understanding, called loneliness grace. Learned how to disappear slowly, so no one felt replaced. She gave love without conditions, in rooms that locked the door. Told herself payment progress, but her heart couldn't take much more. Now she's learning how to listen when the chest starts to ache. Not every crack is a failure, some are space for light to break. She's gentle enough to stay with the parts she tried to hide. She don't have to run from the shaking. She don't have to win every fight. She can fall into the feeling, let the truth touch her skin. A woman can be strong and still let herself give in. To the woman holding herself together with quiet and control. You don't know the world you're suffering, you don't have to be whole. Your tears are not a weakness, they're a language you survive. Healing starts when you stop leaving. Every time you feel inside, I don't need to be fearless to deserve a little peace. I don't have to stay guarded to finally be free. She's gentle enough to stay when the past calls her name. She doesn't lose her power, letting herself feel the pain. She can rest in the moment, let her heart be seen. A strong woman finds her strength in choosing tenderness within. She's not broken by the softness. She's alive, she's awake. A woman doesn't lose her power when she finally lets herself breathe. Hoping, hoping. She's been walking on the edge of courage, every night a quiet fight, smiling for the world around her while her heart's alone at night. She built walls of silent valor, learned to hide each trembling hand, called it strength, called it survival, but no one seemed to understand. There's a whisper under all the shadows, a voice she rarely lets be heard. It's okay to let the tears fall, it's okay to trust the hurt. It's safe to fall, safe to break, safe to cry without restraint. She can bend, she can shake, she's not less for feeling pain. Every heartbeat holds her power, every sigh becomes a song. A woman can be strong and still need to be strong. She gave love like it was endless, even when it left her bare. Kept her heart behind a curtain, hoping someone else would care. She's learning that being tender doesn't mean she's lost her way. Strength lies in her softness, in the courage to feel each day. Every tear is a quiet teacher, every ache a guide to see. She doesn't have to carry the world to know who she can be. It's safe to fall, safe to break, safe to fall without restraint. She can bend, she can shake. She's not left for feeling pain. Every heartbeat holds her power, every sigh becomes a song. A woman can be strong. She is needed to be strong. To every woman holding herself together with a heart that wants to rest. You don't need to prove your strength. Your softness is your best. Tears are not surrender, they're a path to being free. Healing starts when you allow your heart to simply be. I can let the rain come down, I can rest without the fight. I am strong in my vulnerability, I am whole in letting light. Safe to fall, safe to fall, safe to break, safe to break. She's not left for feeling pain. Every heartbeat holds her power, every sigh becomes a song. Oh, a woman can be strong and still need to be strong. She's not weak for the tears, she's alive, she's awake. A strong woman finds her freedom when she learns it. Safe to fall, safe to fall, safe to fall, safe to fall, safe to fall. She learned how to smile with a cracked heart, lipstick hiding all the scars. Every I'm fine was a work of art, painted over who she really was. She held the sky on her shoulders, never asked for a hand to hold her. Told herself pain makes you older, but it also makes you tired. In the mirror, there's a stranger with brave eyes, but she's shaking. All the strength they celebrated was built on night she was breaking. Let her cry, let it fall, let the tears touch the floor. She don't have to be unbreakable anymore. Let her hate, let her feel, let her heart be real. Being soft doesn't make her weak, no. Being soft is how she heals. She stayed when love was reckless, called survival romance, turned silence into patience, gave too many second chances. They praised her for forgiveness, but never saw the cost. Every time she chose their comfort, she slowly lost herself, got lost. Now her chest feels like an ocean, holding storms she never named. She was strong for everybody, but strength don't mean no pain. Let her cry, let it fall, let the tears say it all. She don't know the word perfection anymore. Let her beg, let her break, let her rest for her sake. Being soft doesn't make her weak, no. Being soft is how she alone. I'm still strong when I say I'm not okay. So let her cry, let it rain. Watch the shame, watch the pain. She's allowed to feel everything she feels. Let her love, let her trust. Starting first with herself. Being soft doesn't make her weak. Being soft is how she She's not broken, she's human. That's her quiet power. A strong woman can be tender, she can bloom after the darkest hour. She's been holding doors for everybody else while standing in the cold. Learned how to read the room so well. She forgot her own needs, had a voice. She stitched her heart with careful hands, so no one saw it fray. They admired how she never asked, but never stayed to see the weight. Every compliment felt heavy, every crown too tight. She's been strong in all the wrong ways just to make it through the night. When the brave get quiet and the tears finally come, it doesn't mean they're falling apart. It means the war is done. She can lay her strength down, let the softness speak. A woman doesn't lose her power when she's tender, when she's weak. She confused and jumps for love, stay past the warning signs. Told herself this is what it costs to be the one who tries. She made excuses sound like hope, turned damage into faith, but her body kept the memories her heart couldn't erase. Now she's listening to the ache instead of running fast. Learning pain doesn't define her, it just tells the truth at last. When the brave get quiet and the tears finally come, it doesn't mean they're falling apart. It means the war is done. She can lay her strength down, let the softness speak. A woman doesn't lose her power when she's tender, when she's weak. If you're standing in the mirror, wondering who you became, you don't need to be unbreakable to deserve love, to deserve space. Crying is not surrender, it's your heart breathing again. Healing starts where you stop proving and let yourself feel everything. I don't have to earn my rest by surviving every storm. I'm still worthy in my weakness. I'm still whole when I'm whole. She's flesh and truth and grace, and her tears don't break her power. They finally give it space. She learned to hold the world steady with hands that were trembling inside. Fixed everyone else's fractures while hers stayed unnamed. She measured love by endurance, by how long she could stay. Every promise felt heavier, every smile learned too late. There's a quiet ache in her breathing, like she's been running in place. She's not afraid of the breaking, she's afraid she won't slow her pace. So let these hands finally rest, let the weight touch the ground. She doesn't have to be fearless to still be profound. If the tears start to rise, let them fall where they land. A woman is not less powerful when she loosens her hands. She stayed where love felt conditional, called it hope, called it fate. Learned how to soften the knees so no one felt the strain. She turned silence into patience, turned distance into grace. But her heart's been asking quietly how much more it can take. Now she's listening to the signals she once learned to ignore. Her body knows the truth, her heart is asking for more. So let these hands finally rest, let the weight touch the ground. She doesn't have to be fearless to still be profound. If the tears start to rise, let them fall where they land. A woman is not less powerful when she loosens her hands. To every woman still standing on a floor that feels too thin, you don't owe your pain a reason, you don't have to hold it in. Softness isn't giving up, it's choosing not to run. Healing starts when you stop proving what you've already done. I don't need to be endless, I don't need to be strong on command. I can love without bleeding, I can feel without a plan. Let these hands finally rest, let the armor fall away. She's not losing her strength, she's just learning to stay. She can breathe in the truth, she can cry where she stands. A strong woman keeps her power when she loosens her hands. She's not weak for the feeling, and she's alive, she's awake. A woman doesn't lose her strength when she chooses to shake. She walks the rooms with quiet footsteps, hiding stones behind her eyes. Every word she never spoke built a fortress from the sides. She learned to turn her pain to poetry, tucked it carefully inside. And the world called her resilient, but they never saw her cry. There's a river running under every smile she's ever made. It's okay to let it flow, even if the armor stays. She's allowed to feel the shadows, she's allowed to taste the rain. Being strong doesn't mean she can't give her heart some space taught her how to set it free. She made a home from courage, but the walls were wearing thin. Now she's learning tenderness is where the healing begins. Not every crack is weakness, not every tear is shame. She can stand in her surrender and still own her name. She's allowed to feel the shadows. She's allowed to taste the rain. Being strong doesn't mean she can't give her heart some space again. She can tremble in the silence. She can soften and be brave. A woman keeps her power even when she learns to cave. To the woman holding every burden with a smile she cannot hide. You don't need to earn your healing, it's already by your side. Let the tears fall where they're needed. Let your heart finally speak. Strength lies in the breaking. It's not in always being complete. I don't need to stay unshaken to deserve the love I feel. I can bend without giving up. I can fall and still be real. She's allowed to feel the shadows. She's allowed to taste the rain. Being strong doesn't mean she can't give her heart some space again. She can tremble in the silence. She can soften and be brave. A woman keeps her power even when she learns to cave. She's not less for the crying. She's alive, she's awake. A strong woman finds her freedom when she gives her heart a break. I learned to smile with bruises hidden deep, laughing loud so no one hears me bleed. I wore my courage like a second skin, but even armor breaks from holding in. I kept my tears behind a locked door, afraid they'd say I'm weak, nothing more. But I'm learning now it's okay to break. Strong women bend, they don't escape. I don't have to stand tall every day. I can lay my crown down, drift away. There are soft places to fall inside me. Even heroes need their knees. Oh, yeah. I carry storms in quiet grace, held the world while losing faith. Every promise I tried to save left a scar I never named. I was taught love means sacrifice. But nobody told me the cost of silence. So I'm learning now it's okay to break. Strong women bend, they don't escape. I don't have to stand tall every day. I can lay my crown down, drift away. There are soft places to fall inside me. Even heroes need their knees. walk through fire and shoes that never fit. Every promise left her colder, but she still believed in it. She carried love like armor, wore silence like a crown. They called her brave for standing, never asked how she felt falling down. Every night she holds her breath, afraid to hear her heart confess that even warriors get tired of surviving all alone. Let me say it out loud. You don't have to stand proud. Every moment of your life, you can lay your weapons down. You're allowed to cry tonight. Let the ache be seen. Strength is not what you show, it's where you finally breathe. She mistook pain for loyalty, stayed longer than she should. Taught herself how to stay gentle in places that never could. They loved her unconditional, giving but feared her truth. So she swallowed every feeling till her chest was black and blue. Now her hands are shaking as she learns a different way. Not all love is proven by how much you can say. Let me say it out loud. You don't have to stand proud. Every moment of your life, you can lay your weapons down. You're allowed to cry tonight. Let the ache be seen. Strength is not what you show, it's where you finally breathe. To every woman listening, with a storm behind her eyes, you don't know the world perfection. You don't have to be hard to survive. Your softness is not weakness, it's a language of truth. You were never meant to suffer just to prove what you can do. I'm learning how to rest without feeling like I failed. I'm learning being honest is braver than being safe. So cry if your heart needs space. Let the tears fall in their place. You don't lose your power when you let yourself feel pain. You're so strong in your surrender, still whole in your fear. This is where your healing starts, when you let yourself be here. She's not weak for breaking, she's brave for staying true. A strong woman finds her power the moment she chooses